Pakistan, in 1996, was a country grappling with political instability and disillusionment. The traditional political elite, dominated by the Pakistan People's Party and the Pakistan Muslim League, had failed to deliver on their promises of economic prosperity and social justice. Corruption was rampant. People were losing faith in the existing political order. It was in this context that Imran Khan, a former cricket captain who had led Pakistan to victory in the 1992 Cricket World Cup, decided to enter politics. He founded the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, promising a new era of clean governance, accountability, and social justice. Khan's entry into politics was met with mixed reactions. Some dismissed him as a political novice, lacking the experience and understanding of Pakistan's complex political landscape. Others saw him as a breath of fresh air, a charismatic leader who could challenge the status quo and bring about real change. Khan himself was under no illusions about the challenges ahead. He knew that building a new political party from scratch in a country dominated by established political dynasties would be an uphill battle. However, he was determined to offer a genuine alternative to the traditional political elite, one that prioritized the needs of ordinary Pakistanis. Khan's vision for PTI was rooted in his belief in the principles of justice, humanity, and self-reliance inspired by the teachings of Islam. He envisioned a Pakistan where the rule of law prevailed, where meritocracy replaced nepotism, and where everyone had equal opportunities to succeed. He promised to empower the poor and marginalized, provide quality education and healthcare, and create a corruption-free society. His message resonated with many Pakistanis, particularly the youth, who were disillusioned with the existing political order and yearned for a brighter future. The early years of PTI were marked by struggle and setbacks. The party faced an uphill battle against the established political machinery of the PPP and PML. These parties had deep roots in Pakistani society, with vast networks of patronage and influence. They controlled the levers of power and were adept at using them to their advantage. PTI, on the other hand, was a fledgling party with limited resources and experience. It lacked the financial muscle of its rivals and struggled to compete with them in elections. Despite these challenges, Khan remained undeterred. He continued to travel the country, holding rallies and meetings, spreading his message of change. He criticized the corruption and incompetence of the ruling elite, highlighting the plight of the poor and marginalized. He promised to create a Naya Pakistan, free from the shackles of corruption, poverty, and injustice. His message resonated with many Pakistanis, but it would take time for this support to translate into electoral success. The 1997 general elections were a sobering experience for PTI. The party failed to win a single seat in the National Assembly, highlighting the challenges it faced in breaking the dominance of the established political order. However, Khan and his supporters refused to be discouraged. They saw this defeat not as an end, but as a beginning. They used this experience to learn from their mistakes, strengthen their organization, and broaden their appeal. They realized that building a successful political movement would require patience, perseverance, and a deep understanding of the complexities of Pakistani politics. In the years that followed, PTI continued to build its base, focusing on grassroots organization and raising awareness about its core issues. The party became increasingly vocal in its criticism of the government's policies, particularly on issues like corruption, governance, and foreign policy. Khan emerged as a leading voice against corruption, challenging the nexus between politicians, bureaucrats, and businessmen that had plagued Pakistan for decades. He accused successive governments of plundering the nation's wealth, leaving the common man impoverished and disillusioned. PTI's profile received a significant boost in the late 90s and early 2000s when it joined forces with other opposition parties to protest against the military government of General Pervez Musharraf. Khan's outspoken criticism of Musharraf's regime, particularly his close alliance with the United States in the aftermath of the 9/11 attacks, resonated with many Pakistanis who were wary of American influence in the region. PTI's participation in these protests helped to solidify its image as a party that stood up for democratic values and principles. However, PTI's relationship with the military establishment remained complex and fraught with tension. The military, which had played a dominant role in Pakistani politics since independence, viewed Khan's growing popularity with suspicion. they saw him as a threat to their power and influence. Khan, for his part, was critical of the military's interference in politics, accusing them of undermining democracy and subverting civilian institutions. This tension between PTI and the military would continue to shape Pakistani politics in the years to come.